Welcome to Lochgill and Hazelwood Forest on the outskirts of Sligo town, the new home of Decarbonize. My plan is to continue making videos on humanity's effort to respond to climate change. But given my new home, I'll be focusing more on what's happening in Ireland and Europe, though I will continue to cover things that are specifically about the United States. Given that much of my audience is American and our images of Ireland might be a little too based on Lucky Charms and the commitments, let me talk a little bit about what's going on here. First, how the Irish elect their legislature, the Dáil, is much better than how Americans elect Congress. Across the country, there are 39 districts. Each elect between 3 and 5 members of parliament, or TDs, to the Dáil. I've never figured out why some districts have 3 and others have 5, but the districts with more TDs have proportionally more people. When I lived in Dublin, my district had 3 TDs. Now that I live in Sligo Leitrim district, we have 4. When you vote, you rank each candidate from your favorite to your least favorite. I won't get into the gory details, but just understand that this leads to a body that is much more representational and much harder to game with things like gerrymandering and voter suppression. The system also encourages positive conversation with voters rather than mudslinging. It helps small parties by avoiding wasting votes if your candidate loses. In fact, the Dáil has 9 parties and 19 independents among its 160 members. The current government is made up of 3 parties, Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, and the Green Party. Before the formation of the government, these 3 parties negotiated a program for government, a contract between the parties on what the government was going to do. For the Green Party to join the coalition, they negotiated certain things, like changes to the transportation spending from 2/3 for cars to 2/3 for not cars, including bikes, pedestrians, and transit. I think the most important change that the Green Party got by joining the government was a new law on regulating offshore wind and a new organization, the Maritime Area Regulatory Authority, or MARA, to manage the offshore resources. The offshore wind capacity inside the Irish Exclusive Economic Zone is sufficient to provide all the electricity needed in the EU, yet only one small offshore wind farm has been built to date. Recently, an auction for offshore wind farms was held, and 4 projects with a total capacity of 3 gigawatts were awarded government support. One thing the previous government did was make a commitment to 70% of the electricity in Ireland being from renewables by 2030. Since then, the target has been increased to 80%. Anyone who has spent any time here will not be surprised to learn that the majority of Irish renewable energy is wind, though solar also plays a role. Another interesting thing here is that because Ireland is an island, our grid is relatively small and only has one climate for the entire grid, unlike the United States, where the wind can be blowing in one place when it's not in another, and you can easily transmit the energy where it's needed. Another complexity is that the small island is 2 countries, Northern Ireland, which is a part of the United Kingdom, and the Republic of Ireland, which is an independent country and a member of the European Union. The grid for Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland are managed jointly, which is a good thing for everyone involved. The Irish grid does have interconnections to Britain, one from Northern Ireland to Scotland and another from the Republic of Ireland to Wales. With the support of the European Union, a 3rd interconnection is being built from Ireland to France, called the Celtic Connector. This 750 megawatt transmission line will allow Ireland to export electricity when the wind is blowing hard and import power, primarily nuclear, from France when the wind isn't blowing. This leads to a more robust grid in Ireland and lower costs for all. If you're interested in learning more about my thoughts as an American living in Ireland, I have a blog that I wrote on our arrival in 2019 until my temporary departure in 2022. and I'll put a link to that where you can find it in the description. If you have any particular topics that you'd like me to cover, please leave a comment below. If you want to support my work, you can buy me a Guinness. And like and subscribe if you've learned anything. And please share this video with anyone you know who has some Irish heritage.